Let's talk about ways to level up as a teenager girl. Because if I could go back a few years into my teenage high school years, I would take a lot of things back. So let's get into it while I do my makeup. Starting off would be not everybody is your friend. And that's something that I messed up with a lot in my life, thinking that everybody's really your friend for real. I'm here to tell y'all, the people that you think are your friends now, by the end of high school, by the end of your teenage years, they're not going to be there. I can't name one person that genuinely stayed in my life that I was friends with during high school. Because right now I just finished high school and I got not one friend. I kid y'all not one. Another piece of advice I'm going to give y'all is that those friend groups you be in, half the time, y'all be talking about each other. Like, I would be in friend groups and it would be like your own friends that like they would be talking about, and it would just be like, okay, cool. So I'm not finna be friends with y'all no more. The same way those people be talking about y'all friends is the same way they talk about you, girl. And it's the sad truth. It's the sad truth. Something I never did in high school in my teenage years growing up was really worry about the future. I never did. I was always in the present moment growing up and it being in high school. But that's not something I should have done. If I could go back, I would start thinking like real deep into the future. Because it comes up so much quicker than you think. Like, I remember being like, okay, like, I got this much time, da-da-da. And I literally figured out what I wanted to do my senior year. So if you can, start thinking about, like, what it is that you actually want to pursue in this life. Like, what it is you want to do early. So when it comes time, you're not lost and confused like a deer running around with his head cut off. I think that's the saying. I don't know. Also, when I was a teenager, I used to care so much about what I was wearing, what type of clothes I had on, what the brand was, all that stuff. I promise you I was. I was always worried about all that. All jokes aside, I don't care no more. Once you pass that little phase of your life, that stuff really don't matter. And I promise y'all it's true. It don't matter what you wear. If that shirt that you got from Walmart is cute, put it on. Like, come on, girl. And my last piece of advice is don't look at anybody as better than you. Because I struggle with just like accepting the way that I look in high school so much. Like, don't let anybody change the perception of how you see yourself. Because you are always that girl. You always been that girl. Like, it's not nobody that could compare to you, for real. So don't let nobody think that because they look different or you think that they look better, which they don't, that they better than you. Because you are that girl, okay?
Here's a good piece of advice. Use the weekend to build the life you want, not to escape the life you have.
Alright ladies, so I'm going to tell you 3 things that you can do to make your look and yourself look neater. Number 1 is investing into a purse. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy Chanel, Gucci, or Dior. I'm just saying if you have like $50, just go invest into a nice, clean looking purse. Personally, I saved up to get the tote bag. I also went to TJ Maxx and just invested into a Michael Kors bag. Number 2, dainty jewelry is just a go-to. Some simple gold hoops like these, or even a minimal necklace. My earrings, I got them from Target for like $12. This necklace was $60 from James Avery and has not even tarnished. Number 3 is sometimes less is more. Being very minimal sometimes can make you look more mature and just clean and put together. So even just a tight skim shirt with some nice boyfriend shorts and like a nice minimal sandal will go a long way. Now, I'm not saying you cannot look clean and dress, spunky. But if you just want a more clean and put together look, those are some tips.
If you have been looking to start over aesthetically and renew your look, keep watching. So number 1, and this is like the biggest one that I would have to completely redo, is your surroundings. If you have the budget and the means to completely start over, like redo your room and your home, do it. Obviously, not everyone can afford to completely redo their room or their house or their apartment. But if you have the means to redo anything, do it. Like, get rid of everything that you feel is old, outdated, or bringing bad energy in. Get rid of it. Like, I know that I am such a visual person. If the things in my everyday life that I'm looking at all the time are not matching up to what I feel in my head and what I want to be looking at, I will not be doing well mentally inside. Like, if you don't like where you are and you don't like your surroundings, it's going to take a toll on you mentally. So if you can start over aesthetically in your room and in your apartment, you will feel so much better. Number 2, this is really random and I didn't put this on my questionnaire, but I was thinking about it. Your glassware. I know it sounds so odd, but when I got new plates, new mugs, new wine glasses, new dishes, I felt so much better about eating at home, and like it just makes it more fun when everything looks how you want it to. It might not be a huge thing for you, but it was a huge thing for me. All the cute little things, really, they matter, honestly. Next, staple closet pieces. Depending on your aesthetic, you should invest in staple closet pieces. Like if you have a corporate job and you want to be like the corporate baddie aesthetic, invest in a designer blazer or a really nice blazer. Invest in a nice pair of shoes that you can wear to work. When you look better, you feel better in every aesthetic. And investing in staple pieces will help you in the long run. Next, this one's really, really big for me because it takes a huge toll on just how I'm feeling in my day-to-day. And that is skincare. Once you have a proper skincare routine that is tailored specifically to you, it really is just the best way to start your morning because it's a structured routine that you do for yourself before you start your day. So those are my tips. Let me know if you guys want a part 2. Bye.
3 things I wish I knew before I started dating. I will never date an emotionally unavailable man again. And I don't care that your cat died when you were 6 years old. That is not an excuse to act like I don't exist. I need some type of reassurance. I am not going to put my standards aside because you cannot get therapy. Number 2, I will never date a man that complains that women don't know how to submit. First of all, I am not a dog. I would love to allow a man to lead that knows how to lead. If you are not practicing how to lead a woman properly and how to lead your household properly, stop practicing looking for the woman that will submit to you. I'm not gonna submit to someone that does not even know their butt from their face. Number 3, I will never date a man that is triggering inner trauma that I know I have not healed from yet. If you block me in the middle of a disagreement because you don't want to hear what I have to say, I'm gonna feel abandoned and unheard. I'm gonna need you to get therapy because I'm doing the work. Okay, let's go ahead and heal.
Advice I would give if I had a little sister in high school, part 4. If a boy asks you to the movies as a first date, don't be like, oh, he asked me out. Girl, he's trying to pay $12 just to fill you up if he even pays. Just proceed with caution. Don't let Cheetos or chips be your lunch every single day. I feel like a lot of high schoolers go through that phase, but it's an ick. Eat food. If most of your Instagram feed is bikini pics, that was me. Just be aware you're probably going to attract a certain type of male attention. And 99% of those males or whoever are not going to be the type that you should be giving the time of day to. Don't overshare. If you're the type of person that needs to speak things out, then find 2 people you trust who preferably do not go to your school and have nothing to do with your friend group. My favorite personal hack to this day is to pretend like you're oversharing in conversations. Give people a lot of irrelevant details that you don't care about your life, so now they think they know you, but in reality, they don't know the actual stuff. One thing I seriously cannot stress enough is trying to go out of state for college. If you have the finances, of course. Or just going to a school where you won't know a lot of people or will have a culture shock. Experience over everything. If you think getting with your ex's close friend after breaking up is gonna hurt him, girl, it's only gonna help him or her get over you more. He's gonna think you're for everybody. So level up instead and you'll forget he even existed. Acknowledge the people around you who complain a lot. Distance yourself from the chronic complainers and negativity spreaders. Because as strong as you think you are, it'll negatively affect you over time too.
Get ready with me while I tell you freshman advice that literally nobody talks about. So if you're a freshman, listen up. Hi, my name is Serenity. I just graduated high school, so I know what I'm talking about. Don't date in your friend group. It's not gonna work out. You're gonna lose that friendship and you're gonna regret it in the end. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have good style, and you don't need to wear on-brand clothing to have good style either. A lot of the time, the people who have the best style are the people who thrifted it, and they're not even wearing designer stuff. Trust me. If you don't receive romantic attention in high school, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're ugly. It could literally just mean that you need to leave your hometown. Do not gossip in public spaces because there is always somebody listening and it'll always get back to the person, and you don't want to be that person that's talking about everybody. So don't gossip in public. If you have a crush on somebody, don't put them on a pedestal. They're not better than you. Like, just talk to them, be friends with them, talk to them, and if they say no, then they say no and you pick another one. It's not that serious. Take pictures of literally everything. You'll be happy that you have those memories, and it's nice to look back on when you're older. If you're gonna date an athlete at your school, just proceed with caution. Don't come into high school thinking that you're going to run the place, because I guarantee you're going to get humbled real fast. High school is a fresh start for you, so if you want to do a complete 180 and change your aesthetic, reinvent yourself, change your personality, like now is the time to do it. There's going to be so many people at your school that you don't know anything about you, so you can be whoever you want to be. Amazon will be your best friend when it comes to dances, theme stuff, like dress-up days. Amazon will be your best friend. Do your driver's ed as soon as possible, and the minute you turn 16, literally take your driver's test. I'm 18 and I'm still a passenger princess, and it's the one thing I wish I had done sooner. I'm running out of time, but I just want you to know that everything's going to be okay. Literally, high school is not the best 4 years of your life. It's not the peak of your life. It shouldn't be the peak of your life. And I went through high school without a job, a license, or a boyfriend, so things work out. It's going to be fine.
Here are 5 things that I did that took me from being insanely insecure to being the most confident I have literally ever been. Welcome back to the Glow Up series, and this is part 2 of Confidence 101. Number 1, stop comparing yourself. There will literally always be someone prettier than you, and if that's enough to make you lose complete sense of who you are, then you are actually fucked. Someone else's beauty does not take away from yours, and learning to appreciate other people's beauty without having to compare yourself and getting insecure is hot in itself. Number 2, stop taking things personally. Just stop caring. Think about why you actually care about what someone thinks about you. Like, why? What's the important reason as to why you care if someone judges you? You live in a floating rock, for fuck's sakes. Like, someone else's opinion of you is literally a grain of salt in your world. Number 3, stop asking for people's opinions on things you like. You like that shirt? Buy it. Oh, but Stacy thinks it's ugly. And do you like everything Stacy wears? No. Does she still wear it? Yes. There's actually nothing hotter and cooler than someone who does exactly what they like without having to ask for anyone's approval. Number 4 is accept that not everyone's gonna like you. You are simply not going to appeal to everyone's taste, and there's just no way around it. Trust me, there will be people who are gonna hate you for the way you breathe. If you take it personally every single time someone doesn't like you, you are going to lose complete sense of your identity, which over time will completely destroy your self-concept. Number 5 is I understood that the way I perceive myself is the way other people will perceive me. If I keep telling myself that I'm ugly, insecure, and that I care about what other people think, guess what other people are gonna see? Even if you don't say that to people, energy never lies. They will be able to sense your insecurity from a mile away.
I'm gonna teach you how to start your glow up journey, like from day 1. My name is Jazz. I create a lot of content on how to become a better you, how to glow up, self-care, soft life. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit the follow button. Day 1, first thing you're gonna do on your glow up journey is you're gonna script. I won't go too in depth with what that looks like because I have a lot of videos on it, but basically you're gonna sit down, preferably you're gonna meditate first to get into that right headspace, and you are just going to write out what a perfect day looks like in your higher self. You need to write it in the present tense, and you have to add a feeling to it. I feel so lucky and relieved when I wake up in my penthouse apartment and I can hear the birds chirping outside and the water from the beach, because I live on the beach, and I feel so relaxed when I wake up every morning. And I wake up at 5:30 and I feel energized, and I go to my Pilates class and I meet with my friends at Pilates and we go shopping afterwards, and it feels so good to check my bank account, on and on and on. When you're done scripting, take a look at what you've just wrote, skim it, and look at the habits that you're describing that your higher self does. Can you implement some of those habits right now? Does she wake up at 5:30 in the morning? Okay, you can do that. Does she have lots of money in her bank account? Okay, how did she get that? Did she marry rich? Did she start her own business? Did she work her way up the corporate ladder? How did she get that? As Michelle Obama said, you don't just wake up and become that person, become the glowed up version of yourself. It's the daily habits, it's the daily routines, and then one day you are going to wake up after trying and being consistent, being disciplined with yourself. You are going to wake up and be that person. So that's where you're going to start. You're going to start by scripting, and you're going to start by noticing the habits of your higher self. And you're going to start slowly seeing how you can implement those into your daily life. You also want to focus on things that are important to you. You want to focus on your physical glow up, your internal glow up, and your mental emotional glow up. Those are going to have to be separate videos. I've already kind of created a couple videos on those, but breaking that into buckets and also looking at the habits of what that looks like for you is so important. Once you've organized yourself, you're going to start to form a morning routine. I haven't ever made a video on how to effectively make a morning routine, but I can if you want me to. Watch how powerful it is to pour it into yourself every single morning before pouring into other people. Watch how that changes your day to day and ultimately your life. The last thing you're going to do to start your glow up journey is you're going to create something, physically create something that is a depiction of your higher self, your glowed up self. It can be the background on your phone. This can be a Pinterest board. This can be a collage, Canva, whatever you need.
How to glow up in the cheapest way possible. Okay, so this is what I used to look like. I look a lot different now. When COVID hit, that's when I really started to like focus on my appearance and like start to like try to better myself. And I think I'm going to make a few parts to this, but here are some things that I noticed worked really well. White teeth is an instant glow up. I used to have really yellow teeth, and that used to be my biggest insecurity. And that's like the first thing people notice. So these are the whitening strips I use. They work really well. So go get some of those. Next is do not breathe through your mouth ever. Like, obviously you can when you're talking, but this is a picture of a mouth breather, and this is a picture of a nose breather. It's the same guy, but this is him after he started breathing through his nose. Another important thing with this is having correct tongue posture. So when you have your mouth closed, don't put your tongue where your teeth are. Put it in the little like hole socket thing. I don't know how to describe it, but the diagram shows you right above your tongue. This literally changes your entire face shape and like makes your jawline more prominent. Here's another picture just to show you like how different it makes every part of your face when you breathe through your nose versus your mouth. My next tip is find out what hair color suits you best. This is me when I was a brunette. This is a horrific picture of me when I dyed my hair like black. Here's my hair now. Obviously you can see it now too, but I just think that blonde suits me so much more. Everyone has different preferences, so you just have to find like the color that you feel the most confident in. For me, it was blonde.
How to glow up and completely change your life in just 1 month. Are you ready? Rule number 1, prioritize your sleep, period. Cut out all the sugar, but don't cut out carbs because they're so important. Nourish your body and don't do this mistake. Start prioritizing your hair, your skin, and the way you look. Promise yourself to move every single day, but you don't have to go to the gym because it's summer and you can just go hike and explore the area and listen to a podcast and just be with yourself. Experiment with your style and don't be afraid to try new things. Girl, start meditating. It has changed my life. If you don't have time to meditate at home, meditate in the car, but awareness is everything.
Ways to level up in your teenage years of life. This is for the 15-year-olds, the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, everyone around that age range. One of the most important tips is to not allow your friends to influence you to do bad things. If your friends make you feel like you're some kind of loser or you're like just boring because you don't vape or you don't drink, then be boring. It's better to be boring than go against your morals and probably mash up your lungs in the long term. Number 2 is to know when it's time to leave that group chat. If anyone, which they shouldn't, is making jokes of you, or even if they're leaving you out, okay, they're tagging their other friends in that group chat, but they're just never tagging you. You seem to be the last person that ever gets tagged. You seem to be the last person that anyone ever has a conversation with. ABC your way out of that group chat and create your own group chat. The next one is to have friends that encourage you to study and encourage you to do well. Friends that are rooting for your success. We've all heard it before. You are your friendship group, and your friendship group is you. Don't let that go over your head top. Next is to let boys be the last thing you focus on, okay? Let them be the last thing you focus on. You should not be 15, 14, 13 years old having marriage problems. You are young. Enjoy your life and be young. And finally, on the note of being young, go to as many clubs as you can. On the weekends, do dance class, gymnastics, sports. The more you explore now as a child and as a young person, the better you will be later at deciding what you want to do in life. Because all of that experience will help you make a decision on what you enjoy the most. Thanks for watching.
Here's another things you need to know before high school. I'm going to teach you everything I learned so you can avoid the mistakes that I made. Some people in high school are going to dislike you for literally no reason. And those people probably 1, heard false information about you, 2, are jealous of you, or 3, are just like insecure in general. But what really matters is that none of that is your fault. So you kind of just need to accept that not everyone's gonna like you. Number 2, you do not need to spend money or have the best clothes or have the best prom dress to look good in high school. I feel like high school there's a lot of focus on like material things and like who has the nice bag, like blah blah blah. And like none of that matters. And you can look good without spending a ton of money on clothes or prom dresses or etc. Number 3, stop trying so hard. This is something I wish I knew sooner because I used to get up at 6 a.m. to curl my hair and do makeup and look nice for school. And
You know what? If that made me feel good, then that's fine. But if you're doing it for other people, literally don't. No one's gonna remember it, and it doesn't matter in the long run. Let me know if you want more advice.
I'm gonna teach you how to glow up instantaneously. Like instant glow up. We'll warn you, this glow up tip may cause an existential crisis for a day or two, or a week. But it's worth it because once you get over that hump, you're gonna be way hotter. Go into your closet, look at all of your accessories and clothes, and as you pull them out one by one, ask yourself, did I buy this thing because I really truly like it aesthetically? Or did I buy this to look like someone else on the internet or impress other people with it? Like a crush or people on TikTok or Instagram, etc. And see how much of what you own you bought not because you like it, but because you wanted to impress other people or look like someone else. And then if you can, you donate those clothes, and little by little, you rebuild your wardrobe. You do not buy shit unless you see it and you're like, oh my God, that's so me. When I did this, it was a humbling experience. But the proof is in the pudding, baby. Let me show you. Before, after, before, after, before, after. It's not like you look bad in the before. You just don't look fully comfortable in your own skin because you're wearing things that you don't feel fully represents who you are. I had to come to terms with the fact that I only feel comfortable dressing like a mixture of Lorelai Gilmore and, I don't know, Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. And that was kind of hard for me to face. But I feel a lot better now, so you do it too. We'll look hotter, like a hot tamale.
3 girl tips I wish I would have known sooner. Oiling your belly button with any kind of coconut oil or body oil really does help out with dry skin, helps fertility, and also helps with menstrual cramps. This shit feels disgusting. If you suffer with dark circles under your eye, use coffee beans to really brighten the area. I can't see. And if you run out of your favorite facial cleanser, don't worry, just use Dawn dish soap. It works the same way as facial cleanser, just make sure you hurry up and do your skincare right after so you don't dry your fucking skin out.